So we have started in Majuro, and we have developed in schools and as well as among the communities now. Although we have not covered throughout to Laura, but we have touched some of the communities now. And so the idea is to move it here in Ebeye and maybe to some other islands where we can have a full coverage of the soccer, and basically to build that interest. Because as we know, basketball has been the major sport here in the Marshall Islands, and we want to show that there is also another sports that Marshallese can play as well beside basketball. The first thing is to build the interest. As I've said, most of the children, the youth, are more into basketball. So once we're able to have that build into the interest into the children, then they can able to assimilate into the soccer as a game. And the second thing is to develop the schools and develop the communities. And from that, then we move into having competitions amongst the communities and our schools. These are some of the things that we are actually planning to do from schools. And then the other idea is to move into developing a national team. We have some players who are in Majuro right now. We may have to pick from some place in the United States, Marshallese who are in the United States. And we also may have to pick from those who are here in Ebeye and of course in Kwajalein as well, who can able to join the national team. And recently we have hosted the game between FSM as well as Kiribati, and it was very interesting. You know, we have just started and we came into final with Kiribati, and we played against their national team, which all big people who are been playing for many years, and we can able to, score the first goal in the tournament, and then they were able to score against it. There was a 6-2 in that game, but that was a close match, which I see the more players out there we gather, the better, the stronger the Marshall Island team is. I wouldn't say many years, a few years ago, because the Marshall Islands Federation started in 2000. We registered as an organization, as an entity in 2000, and then the COVID happened. So when the COVID happened, nothing happens during those 2 years, 2020 to 2021. And then 2022, we start building up again. And so this is where we start to build up to ensure that the sport is spread out throughout the Marshall Islands. We are planning to go, the first invite that came was to go to Kiribati. And then Kiribati turned down, they said they were not prepared. And so we said, okay, Marshall Islands will host it. So we did hosting recently in the games that we host. And the idea is to play with the other sub-regional, like Kiribati, Nauru, Palau, FSM. And in 2 years' time, Nauru is hosting the micro games. Nauru, from what we heard, Nauru is planning to put on a soccer. They start to developing that. So, but something that we will wait to see if we can able to fill in a team to represent the Marshall Islands. Yes, right now this is a start. We have, I myself, I have in contact with the CalGov, local government, and they have assigned the director and the community officer who works to work with the federation. And so we had the opportunity now they allow us to use the venue, the facility, which is the Jabro complex, community complex. And this is something that we see that we may able to develop that. And having that, I've talked with some of the teachers. There's one teacher here whom I pull into, and he sent out notices to the school. There are some of kids here from his school that start to come and be part of that. There was one person that Jacob, who is now in Philippines with a family in Philippines for medical purposes, but he has been very helpful. I think his son played in Kwajalein, and so there are people out there who would like to come and help. And myself, I am also gonna coming back and forth from Majuro to here. I'm actually an attorney by profession, and I'm here to do some legal work for CalGov. And so monthly or on quarterly basis, I will be here to help out. Yes, as I've said, building that interest is the most important thing that we have to build. And there's two approaches we are looking at. One is to target the communities, and that is through the local government, to work through local governments. Like for this clinic, the local government has already made announcements to the community, and they have canceled the basketball tournament that is going on, so that we can have the soccer futsal clinic for today. And so by working through the local government, we can able to penetrate through the communities, in which then we work with the communities. The second part of our approach is to work through the schools. And this is where we pull in the teachers to come in, and we build within the schools. And we may able to assist with developing soccer as part of the competitions for schools. And it has never been happened before, but this is something we are planning and forcing that it will happen in the future. To have this competition. Like quads, they have that, but in Ebeye and in Majuro, we still don't have soccer as part of the education programs. Yeah. Soccer helps you with your health. It helps you build your stamina. It helps you build your form, and it helps you to able to maintain your skills. What I can say to my Marcellist friends, and I can say that basketball, Marcellists are built for soccer. You have the stamina, you have the skills, you have the height. That height is for soccer. Basketball, you need to be very tall to be advantaged for playing basketball. But when you have looking at Marcellists, that's exactly the height and the skill and the stamina you need for soccer to maneuver. Maneuvering is just the issue here I see for Marcellists is the ability to translate what's in your hand. Now they play basketball into their legs, to able to develop that skills on the legs. And what I see is if the Marcellists can able to develop that on their legs, they will be very skillful players in the future, because they do have that height, weight, and stamina to play soccer. And that's all that I can say. And I can say that soccer is not new to Marshall Islands history. There is, based on my research, I have found that there is a player in the 60s and 70s they call Andy Rep. Andy Rep is where Marcellists, they kick the ball in the air. This ball they made out of pandanus leaves. And they kick it up in the air until it reaches, and they just keep it floating in the air. And that's part of the soccer, and the Marcellists have lost that tradition already. So my take to my Marcellist brothers and sisters is put back that history on, put in the skills of soccer, and let's develop soccer in the Marshall Islands.